You are welcome to Math Demystified. In this question, we are required to simplify the given expression, just to simplify. So we have 2x squared minus 3ax plus 4x squared minus 6xa and minus x squared. So if you look at this critically, you discover that there's something common here. I have x squared, I got x squared, and I have x squared. You can bring them together, and that will give you 2x squared plus 4x squared, then minus x squared. These ones are also the same thing. So that will give us minus 3ax minus 6xa. All right. So looking at this, you discover that I have the same term here, the same expression, the same thing. This x squared, this x squared, this x squared. This is same thing as 1. So 2 plus 4 is 6. That is 6x squared. Subtract 1x squared from it, that will give you 5x squared. So here you have ax, and this is xa. They're exactly the same thing because a times x is same thing as x times a. So I could just pick this and rewrite it as ax, or rewrite this one as xa, anyone you wish to. So let me just turn this one, change it and write ax because they mean exactly the same thing. So right here, this is going to give us minus 9ax, minus 9ax, and that is the answer. In this next question, we are asked to remove brackets from the given expression. So what do? Let me write this. That is 2x minus 5y plus 6z. So for me to remove the brackets, I will use this to multiply each of the terms I have here. There are 3 terms here. So I'm going to have minus 3 into 2x, then minus 3 again into minus 5y. You pick each of the terms with the sign. So, and I have minus 3 again into plus 6z, which I could just write as 6z if I want to. So this will give me minus 6x, then plus 15y, because minus times minus is plus. Then you have minus times plus again, giving you minus, and that is minus 18z. It's as simple as that. You just take the number you have here and multiply each of the terms. Be careful, you can see there's no plus here, there's no minus here. So this minus 3 is multiplying everything in the bracket. That's why we did that. Remove the brackets and simplify x into x minus 2y minus 5y into 3x minus 6y. Okay, x into x minus 2y minus 5y into 3x minus 6y. We're going to do exactly what we are asked to do. We are asked to remove the brackets. So let's remove the brackets. Like what we did the first time, this will multiply this to give us x squared. This will multiply this. Do not forget there's a plus here. Plus times minus will give you minus. So this multiplies this. You have 2xy. Same thing over here. This is minus, this is plus. That will give you minus. When you multiply them, minus 5 times this will give you 15. This and this will give you xy. If you write yx, it's the same thing, just like we saw in the previous example. So minus times minus will give you plus. This and this will give you 30 when you multiply them, and that is y squared. So we are asked to now simplify because there's a part of it where you have the same thing. So right here we have x squared, and you have minus 17xy, because this is minus 2xy minus 15xy. So when you put this together, you have minus 17xy, and that gives you plus 30y squared. You cannot simplify further, and that is your answer. All right, let's simplify this expression. We are given 2 into h minus 3 into k minus h in another bracket minus 3 into k minus 2 into h minus k close the bracket. We are asked to simplify. Now, when you have this type of expression, where you have multiple brackets, you start with the innermost bracket. You start simplifying from the innermost bracket. It is easier that way, so that you have 2 into h. Simplify this. This multiplying this will give you minus 3k, minus multiplying this will give you plus. This multiplying this will give you 3h. Just be careful. So you have minus, do the same thing here. The k is here, minus 2 multiplying h will give you minus 2h. This negative multiplying negative will give you plus. You have 2k. So you can now remove this bracket by multiplying through by this 2. So this will give you 2h minus, look at it again, you have 6k. When this multiplies this, when this multiplies this, you have plus 6h minus this multiplying, you have minus 3k, negative multiplying negative, you have plus. So here we have 6h. Just follow what we are doing. Negative multiplying positive, you have minus 3 multiplying 2, you have 6, and that gives you 6k. So now look at what you have and now bring them together. Right here you see you have h and you have h, you have h and you have k. So bring them together. You have 2h, whereas we have h. You have 6h, whereas we have h, and 6h. You have plus 6h. So I pick this, I pick this, and I pick this. So let's go to the case. Minus 6k. I pick this one again, minus 3k. I pick the last one, minus 6k. So be careful to write your answer now. So all these ones are all addition. This is 8, that is 14. 6 plus 2 gives you 14h. Come over here too, I've got 6, they are all negatives, that's another 12. With this 3, that's 15. Minus 15. Okay. So when you have multiple brackets, you start simplifying from the innermost bracket. And you just take it through. And that's it. Expand 2n plus 3 in brackets. Multiply another bracket, 3n minus 7. So we have 2n plus 3. And we also have 3n minus 7. I will solve this in 2 ways, so you make your choice anytime you want to solve it. You can decide to pick any one of these two, and write it twice. So I want to pick this one, write it twice, and that gives me 2n plus 3. Leave a space here, and write again 2n plus 3 without changing any sign. Now I'll pick this one. Come over to the second one, and no, we have 2 terms here. So you split the 2 terms into 2. So, and you split like this. You don't have to show the mark, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So right here, there's plus here. And because it's plus, I do not want to start because it's starting with plus. So right here, I just have 3n. And this is minus 7. This is minus 7. So that means 3n, we multiply all of this. And minus 7, we multiply this. And that's what you do. What have I done? I picked one of the terms. I wrote it twice. No? Then pick the second one, divide into 2 equal parts. Just multiply each of the brackets with the terms that you have in the second bracket. And so in this case, I'm going to have 2 multiplying 3, that gives me 6. N multiply n will give me n squared. Okay, so do exactly the same thing again. There's a plus here, plus times plus is plus. 3 multiplying this will give me 9n. Let's come to the other side too. Just continue. And this minus, negative multiplying positive there will give you minus. 7 multiplying 2n will give you 14n. Then you have negative, multiplying negative, you have negative. 7 times 3 is 21. So look at this critically and just solve the problem. So this is 6n squared, right? So if you check this, it's going to give you 5, minus 5. because this is negative 14. So minus 5n minus 21. That is one method of solving it. I want you to look at it very well. That's one method of solving it. Another way you can solve this is this. Let's look at it this way. An alternative way of solving it. 2n plus 3. You also have 3n minus 7. You pick the first number here, the first term, multiply this. Pick the same first term, multiply this. Then come to the second term, multiply the first term here, second term, multiply the first term. So let's do it together. So this will give me 2n multiplying 3n. Now the same 2n multiplying this, and that will give me minus 7 into 2n. This is the same thing, all right? So now come over to the second one. I got plus 3 multiplying this, that will be 3 into 3n. Then this same 3 multiplying this, and that will give me minus 7 into 3. Okay, so and your answer will now be 6n squared. This will give you minus 14n. This will give you plus 9n, and the other part will give you minus 21. If you look at this line and look at this line here, you see they're exactly the same thing. So my final answer is 6n squared minus 5n minus 21. So you could use any of the two methods to solve that question. Whenever you're asked to expand two brackets, that's how to do it. All right, let's get to work. We have to expand this. I'll use one of the methods I used before. So I have 2x minus 3y and 5x minus 2y. I want to use the second method that I used. So this multiplying this will give me 10x squared. 10x squared. This same number multiplying this one will give me minus 4x y. You just have to be careful, and that's all it takes. This multiply this, I got this. This same number multiply this, I got this. So let's come to the next one. Don't forget the negative is there. So this multiplying this will give you 15xy. That's minus 15xy. So this same number, all right, so have negative both ways, so that will make it become positive. This is positive. So the number, that will be 6 and y squared. So do not forget I have xy and have xy. So this will give me 10x squared. The negative, you know, see what I have, so minus 19xy plus 6y squared. That's it. In solving this, I want you to know that you can decide to write this bracket twice and use the previous method that we have used, meaning that to solve the first one, you could just write 4p plus q squared to be equal to 4p plus q, then another 4p plus q, all right, and solve it the way we solved it before. This way, this multiplying this will give you 16p squared. 16p squared. This one again multiplying this will give you plus 4pq. Then take this, multiply this, you have plus 4pq. Then this multiplying itself will give you q squared. And in the end, you will have 16p squared. This will give you plus 8pq and plus q squared. You could do that. But there's a faster way. Let me remind you, if you check one of the previous videos I did before, where I told you that when you have a plus b and it is squared, it's the same thing as writing a squared. Then whatever sign you have here will come over here. In this case, it is plus. Then this will multiply these two to give you 2ab, then the last sign is always positive, then this will give you b squared. If you remember, write the first sign, write the first term, square it, then the sign here will come over here, then take this power. This works for only power of 2 to multiply these terms, and that gives you this. Then the last one is always positive. So if you use that method to solve this, then that means you will have 4p plus q squared to be equal to square all of this. If I do square it, I will have this. Okay, the sign here, the sign is what you write, so I have positive, so I'm writing the positive sign there. Then this will multiply each of these, meaning 2 into 4p into q, this multiplying each of them. Then the last sign is always positive, then square the last one, 2, square it. So that's what you have, and this will give you 16p squared plus 8pq, then plus q squared. You can see that. Now, if you master this properly, there won't be need to write this part. You'll see what I'm going to do when I'm solving this part. So if you master this skill, you won't have to write this. Once you see this, you produce the answer straight away. And that's how to solve it. All right, let's use the second method I just taught you to solve this b part. So the b part, which is 5x minus 3y raised to power 2. Now this, let's recall, you see that if you have a minus b, only what I just explained now, this should be this one squared, that is a squared. The sign you have here is what you write, this should be minus. If you can remember, then this will multiply this 2, giving you 2ab, then the last sign is always positive, then you square the last one. See that? Square the first, then the sign you have is what you put here, then this times this times this, then the last sign is always positive and you do that. So if you use that method to solve this, then you will have this squared. This squared, I'm going to do it straight. This one squared will give you 25x squared. The sign you have here is what you write, minus. So this 2 multiplying 5 is 10, multiplying 3 is 30. So I have 30, then xy, then the last sign is always positive. Square the whole of this, square it, and that will give you 9 when you square 3, and that will give you y squared when you square y. See, so if you could just follow this, you don't have any problem. It's the same principle. The first one you have, you square it. The sign you have is what will be here. If it's positive, it will be positive. That was what happened in the previous example. Then use the 2 to multiply every time you have here. No, each of the times you have here, use the 2 to multiply it. Then the last sign is always positive and square the last one. So that's exactly what we did. We came over here, we squared the whole of this. We have this, the sign, 2 times 5 times 3 gave us 30. Then square the whole of this, and that's it. The sign will be positive. It's as simple as that.
If you enjoyed our teaching, please click like and feel free to share our link with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications of our subsequent videos.